I don't usually believe in previews, but on this occasion, I'm going to make an exception. It's a massive game on Mondays. We travel to Molineux. Last time we went there, we lost twice, once in the league and the other in the FA Cup because of Porky Pig. He cost us that game. Just let you know that as well. It's a Monday night. It's under the floodlights. Other teams who have played by then. You know, there's some massive games with Man City Spurs as well. But this game, we have to win. Luke Shaw needs to be dropped. I don't want to see him on that team sheet at 7ish. Because if he does start, we are not winning that game. We are not winning that game. We won't lose it, but I'll tell you something, we won't win it. He was exposed so many times last week. You can see the gaps appearing in the first half with so much space on the left-hand side. And as Mourinho said in his post-match interview on Sky, that Maguire, did the work of two men, had to cover the ground that Luke Shaw swallowed up, no pun intended. So he needs to be dropped. I would play Dalot there. I think he's a better left back than Luke Shaw. I think Ashley Young's a better left back than him as well, to add into the occasion. You can't afford to carry passengers. You can't, because he's a liability. At Wolves, they'll target that. Nuno probably before the game or during the week that's just gone will go, let's exploit Luke Shaw. Let's put balls over the top. Let's get to that space. There's loads of space there where Luke Shaw gets dragged there. Let's exploit that. Put balls over the top. Jota will probably, again, own him like a bitch, like he did last season. That was hilarious to watch that. So I think they'll do the same again. So my team's going to be De Gea in goal. Wan-Bissaka, I would put Dalot there for me, if I had my way. If I had my way, Smalling would play instead of Maguire. Needs must, I suppose. Maguire, Lindelof, and Dalot at left back. Midfield three, I would keep the same. The forward line, I would keep the same. There's this nonsense being bandied about that we should change the team for the Wolves game. What will be the point of that? What is the point of that? Keep the same team, minus Luke Shaw obviously, and go with that. That's what we should be doing. Not trying to, let the opposition, dictate what we do. Let us dictate what, we should be doing. Wolves had a good season last season, and it'll be a tough game. I'm expecting it to be a draw. I think it will be that tough. But that team is good enough, I think, to beat Wolves. They played in the Europa League earlier this week. They rested most of their team so they'll be fresh and vibrant ahead of the game. And they will soak up possession. They'll have more of the ball. And we have to make sure that when they go into those dangerous areas, we plug the gaps, we exploit their weaknesses and make sure they don't go past the halfway line, really. So that's the team I would pick, and I want to go for a draw, 1-1 in that game. And another aspect is Paul Pogba. Again, his brother went on a Spanish TV show and said that he doesn't know if Pogba will be there come the 2nd of September. Paul Pogba's got an Instagram. He's now deleted. How convenient, Paul, that you go and delete that post. Very convenient, isn't it, lad? And it looks like he still wants to go to Real Madrid. I don't care what Top Red say. He wants to go to Real Madrid. And if I had my way, I would sell him in the summer. I would sell him in the next couple of weeks. Because for me, he's not good enough for Manchester United. Don't come back at me, right? With, the midfield's not very good. I don't give a shit. Okay? He doesn't want to play for Manchester United. I want players to play for the club who want to play for the club. Not those who don't. So Paul Pogba quite clearly doesn't want to stay. And if you don't want to stay, there's the door. And it also begs the question, what's Paul Pogba going to do, right? When 2nd September arrives, Real Madrid can't buy him anymore. Is he going to down tools? Because that's what he did last season. And I think he'll do the same again. So the ball's in his court. I do still think he's not a virus. I think he's a disease in that dressing room. And he will down tools at some point in the season. So I would cut our losses, get rid of him in the next couple of weeks. Who cares, if it will affect us in the midfield area? Things have to get worse before they get better. He goes, we don't have a player who's a disease around the dressing room and poison, and then we go ahead of that. So that's my team, that's my views of Paul Pogba, And that is what I would go with ahead of Monday's massive clash against Wolves. You know, the slums of Wolverhampton, the slums of Birmingham. I mean, who wants to live in the slums? You don't want to live in Birmingham, do you? You don't need even move bloody Hampton. We bloody blue means you'll be careful Wolverhampton. That's a Wolverhampton accent there. Which is not very good, but, you know, you get the idea with that. So that's my team.